Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the old Vody auction. So we have done a pretty serious overhaul of the smart contract since Max jumped on Thursday. Basically just cleaned things up quite a bit. Just come through. We had things kind of broken up unnecessarily into different data structures. So instead of kind of using a separate array, which was a really weird implementation for the current auction item, we just kind of moved everything into the auction queue and handled it from there. Another big thing we did was overhauled. So we used to be storing references, which is going to be a big no-no. So instead we stored type capabilities, which we can get a reference to. That's just because references are only supposed to be used once. I guess it's a way to prevent re-entrancy attacks. If we had references hanging out there, then people could, from what I understand, basically just abuse like a transaction, get more than they're supposed to out of it before the transaction completes. So it's a nice little security measure. So we just kind of just went ahead and implemented that wherever we were holding references. Wasn't really too crazy of a refactor in the code, but it did clean things up quite nicely. You can see anywhere that we have a borrow is a lot cleaner looking. So I don't know, I like it. I don't like this implementation. This is a big mess. It's a big nest. Kind of reminds me of like old JavaScript asynchronous code. So we're gonna clean that up. We're also gonna remove any of the voting functionality from this auction today, and we're just gonna make this a composable basic auction contract that I can use for my team project, and Bjarta, who's gonna be joining us in a few minutes, is gonna be able to use that for their team project as well. So it's kind of the composable nature of these things. Why build something that's so specific when we could just use the general functionality to be a springboard for both our other projects? So it'll be a good opportunity to show how that's done, and hopefully this is something that other people can use for their projects going forward too. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Bjarta into the chat, and we're going to try to do some pair programming today. Not sure how it's going to work because I know that there's a delay on the stream, and there's also some interesting issues with VS Code live share where we can't really see the same terminal output. So open to suggestions if anybody has any sort of way to prevent that from happening, but let's get Bjarta on the scene. Sorry, I'm not a multitasker, I'm just chatting with him right now. Hey Bjarta, you there, buddy?
Hello?
Hey man, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. So hopefully everybody can hear. I don't know if you've got the stream open on your end, but I haven't really tested out the whole audio settings. So hopefully you can hear both our mics a little clearly over the audio if you've got it open. I'm ready for some feedback if there's any feedback on your end.
Yeah, let me check. So now I have the stream open at least.
Perfect. Yeah. So this is the ghetto third stream. So we got to test things like these out to make sure we're not just muted and talking to ourselves. How's it sound on your end? Is there a fairly big delay?
Yeah, it's a really big delay, and so either you need not to chat here, or I need to turn up the stream, I guess, because if not, it's going to be pretty hard for me to follow, I think.
Well,
so I'm not sure.
So if we can just confirm that like we can hear your mic, my mic, and the audio behind us, and it's not annoying, then you don't need to keep watching the stream. I'll keep an eye on chat, and then you can just listen to me on the mic. The only issue is just going to be with the delay and the code, right?
Yeah, well, that's fine. So
I think we'll be all right, because are you okay to use VS Code live share for this? Like, it's going to be a little ghetto, but I think it'll get us where we need to go.
Yeah, we can try. That's okay.
Sweet. So we should plug our tooling that we've built so far, because it's pretty cool. I tried like getting it working with this auction contract and everything, and I wasn't able to do it. I'm running into issues with it, so we'll obviously have to chat about that offline and see if we can figure it out. But we're so close with that stuff, man. It's super cool. It's like, I don't know, I'm pumped. I hope you're pumped, especially with the emojis. Just bring some life into it.
Yeah, we should go emoji all in. Emojis are cool.
Well, I mean, especially for like a dev workflow thing, like it could be really frustrating when you get errors all the time. So seeing a little poop emoji, you know what, brightens up your day.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get you invited into a live share session.
Yep.
And I'll just pop this into your personal Discord chat.
Alright. If we live code, I guess I don't need to watch the stream at the same time, because then I can see your code, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be it'll be easier to follow along because you can see us both moving, so that'll be okay. And I mean, to start off, we're gonna go pretty light, so I don't know if you caught like the intro, but
yeah, I did.
Okay.
I watched this. So.
Cool. So yeah, I was actually gonna just turn the voting auction into an auction and just kind of remove the like all the voting functionality, because like what we talked about was making this composable so that you and I could both build custom functionality on top of it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, what you mentioned before, like being able to bid on any item in the collection, it's a pretty simple change. So I think what I'll do is, like, I'm just gonna start picking apart the things that we don't need quickly, and then we'll refactor it into just being a pretty basic auction that we can both extend. That sound good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Just need to. I think maybe I joined in the browser, and I don't want that. In the browser. But there it is. Join in Visual Studio Code. Okay.
Yeah, browser's a little. It's cool that it actually lets you do that, though, right? Because you don't actually need to have it installed.
The Visual Studio Code thing for GitHub is also pretty awesome things.
Yeah, I've got. I'm still having issues with my like permissions with VS Code Live or subsystem for Linux. So that might get really annoying on this stream if I have to like. I won't really be able to like push and pull without closing VS Code. So super annoying.
Why can't you just use the Git integration in Visual Studio Code?
I guess, yeah, I could probably just be a big kid and do that.
Well, I normally use the terminal for version control, so.
Yeah.
But I'm old school, I guess. But should we start trying to get this Go tooling integrated into here before we do anything else? Because now we know that the contracts kind of work, or maybe they didn't work actually.
Yeah, the problem with this is like I did do a bunch of refactoring and cleaning up, but I'm still getting stuck with the contract or the start auction method. Like it still loops, and I don't know why. So the whole point, at least for me, for building the tooling was to try to get like a faster kind of way to test that without having to go through all these steps right online. So I'm all for it, but like there are a few things that we can definitely do before we get to that point. That would just be like that would be a nice to have thing, right? But I mean, this contract can definitely be cleaned up to a point where we'll get rid of the voting stuff. We'll just make it to a point where it should work for all the items in the collection, and then we can go ahead and test. We can like try to get our tooling working and test it out. But it could totally be a me problem where it's just the way I'm going about setting myself up with the Go dependencies. But I don't know.
Well, did you put this in Go path now, or didn't you?
Did I put the tooling?
No, the repo. Is this repo in the go path? Because I think you need to be in order for the. But we can always try that later when we run the go script.
We'll check it in a bit. Like I did actually just echo my go path, and it was like this file. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. So we'll check it out. It still wasn't working, so we'll get it figured out. But like I said, I don't think it's gonna take us long to get this this voting functionality done.
No.
Because we don't really need the get next token. Oop. We don't need get highest. We don't need. Here, let me just go one by one because I'm gonna drive you nuts scrolling up and down this like that.
There
We don't.
live share.
We're
I
not
just have to get I just have to get used to live share because if I can click on the participants, I can click on your icon down in the left here, and then I kind of get to where you are in the code, so I can see your cursor. But did you give me edit access here? Yeah, I can actually. And I can even edit with my plugins. This is pretty sick, actually.
Ah, there you go. I'm making a VS Code user out of you.
Do you know the VI gang sign? By the way, since I'm a huge VI user.
No, I don't know the VI gang sign. I'm not team VI. I think VI is cool, but I'm not like well versed in it beyond like you've seen me navigate things. It's like a grandma driving a car, so
yeah.
I should be a VI user.
if you Google VI gang sign, you can kind of check that out. If you like. So it's pretty nerdy, I guess. So.
Well, you gotta check it out. I'm assuming there's something ASCII related going on.
So what are you doing now? We're starting to rip out things, or?
Yeah, I'm just ripping out. So like we don't really need to move through a queue anymore, right? Like we just need a collection, and we need the ability to bid on a token ID in the collection. So our
So all of these methods like kind of got on get highest token ID.
Yeah.
Maybe update auction items. Settle the settle auction. We need that.
Yep.
So, should we just start ripping out code? Okay.
You betcha.
Let's see how this works. Let's see how this syncs up. The start auction method. We don't need that at all, do we?
No, I don't think so. Because once they're added, they can just be bid on, right? Well, I don't know actually. Like, how should we implement that? Should we run a start auction method that actually records the block when that auction method has, or when that start method has been run, or should we, like, should we have that just automatically start when the token is added to the auction collection?
I was thinking that maybe an auction item could have a start token or a start block counter. I'm not sure if you're using block counts or timestamps. We should kind of discuss that, I guess, if we want to use.
Yeah. So my take is, I like to just think in blocks, because blocks will always be blocks. But I know, like, that's a great question. Like that, honestly, I don't have an answer to that. I'm just going with what I feel. So I think it's
I'm posting the stream now in the Flow Discord. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So prepare. No, we have to prepare for all.
I just wanted to make sure the audio was working before we got too many people.
The audio was nice when I watched it. So when I heard, but now I've turned off the sound in the stream, I guess. So.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I think it'll be okay as long as you heard both of us and the music. That's cool. The music's not really that important, but I feel like it's nice to have. That way, if we're sitting here staring at our screen for 5 minutes straight, somebody's got something to listen to.
So we just rip out code, I guess.
Yeah. When I move this, do you see it moving on your end?
Yeah, I do actually.
Let me see if
but
I
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that is. If I'm doing this correctly, also it might be. Well, it might be the crash course in Visual Studio Code.
No, that's fine, man. I love this. This is exactly what I want to be streaming. It's not like some sort of like, university lecture for 3 hours straight. It's just, me or a couple of guys hacking away. A couple of people hacking away. Shouldn't be too hardcore about that.
So we have a method to change the start price.
Yeah, so I mean, we don't really need that anymore because, or do we? Like I guess that's where we come back to like, what state is the auction in? Like, should we?
Well, if you ask me, if you have an auction and you kind of need to change the start price for it, you should. I think that you need this to be a resource so that you can borrow or you can get that resource and change the price and put it back again. Because if not, two people can do it at the same time, right? So then you will kind of, well, I guess you can just lock the entire resource, I guess.
Can they do it? Yeah, I don't think they can because that's where the references come in, right? Like you can only store one instance of a reference, so you'd only be able to communicate with it like one at a time, right? So I think we'd be okay. But the, I guess the question I'm asking is like, you can't change the start price of an auction item after the auction has already started, right?
No, so probably not.
Should we have a start auction method that allows people to add their items to the auction queue, you know, review them before they actually start an auction?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not really sure, actually. But I think having methods to kind of update things and like that, it's not an important thing, right? The important thing to get correct first, if you ask me, is to have a collection of auctions and you can bid on one of them. Mm-hmm. And you can fulfill the auction, so you can kind of that's the most important thing. We can always add this later if we need it, right?
Yeah.
Or if we need but I think it needs to be possible to have multiple auctions going on at the same time, right? So
I agree.
If you ask me, that should be possible.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm having a problem deciding like about the start function. Sorry, just one sec. I'm trying to see if there's a setting so that we can like disable focusing, like we can cruise around without hijacking each other's live share scrolling. If that made sense.
Yeah, I think maybe it is because maybe I did something wrong when I joined here. Let me try to rejoin and see if I did something.
I don't think you did.
I say so. Now I quit the corporation here. Let me go in again. Okay. Okay. So now I need to. No, this is YouTube.
Funny bone, never funny.
I'm not pretty sure. We can just have to figure this out, I guess.
Sounds good. So release previous bid and return auction queue items to owner. Those are the ones that we're actually using in our destroy method. Those are the ones that help you sleep at night.
I've been losing money because you destroyed a punchable token. Well, I don't. We should try to flatten out that code. A subtle security method. I don't like deep methods. So if you see this method on line 131, it's very deep. Like
it's gross.
There's a lot of levels. So I would just rather.
Yeah, I agree. This is Eric Learn's optional binding. Is what this is.
Yeah, but the optional bindings are cool. But but if you invert the line 134, right? If you invert that and you invert the if and you return, for instance, because you don't really do anything at the bottom here, so you just need to log and then return.
Yeah.
I guess. So we used to say return home early at work. So when we write a piece of function, you want to return home early as possible, because then you don't need to look at the rest of the code to understand what is going on, because right now you see that if the current price is equal to the token made the start price, then you can just return, right?
Yeah, this is a mess.
Yeah,
like
well,
I said, like I said,
we'll figure that. We'll figure that out. We just need to.
Yeah. Just gonna not look at that for a second.
Well, what I'm thinking is that why can't I, when I'm in this, let me just try to go out again. I'm not sure if I'm doing this correctly, this live share, because I think I could have my own session, right?
Yeah, like that's what I was looking for too. Is just the ability to kind of separate our scrolling, because that's what's happening, right? Like every time I scroll, you're cruising.
So now I'm a participant. It says there's some issues with Go here, because that's probably because your Go setup is different than mine. Because now it says there's one participant here, but follow to the side, unfollow participant. Okay, no. Well, I can choose to follow you or not. Can you see that in the live share tab?
Yeah.
If you can follow me, do you see me down there? Because I can click if I want to follow you or not. So if I don't follow you, now I don't think I don't scroll, or
Okay, let's test that theory. Are you scrolling?
Where's your? No, I'm not scrolling.
Okay.
Let me scroll now. No, I'm scrolling.
Yeah, we're good. We're separate.
Yeah. So if I kind of click on Eric Browers, then is that the right way to say it?
It's so close. You're good. It's brewers, just like brewing beer.
Brewers. Okay. Yeah. Just like brewing beers, just in Canadian.
Yeah. Exactly. There you go.
About.
It's actually Brewers in German.
Oh, so it's from German.
Yeah, I'm German, but not really. My my dad and family came over on a boat, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I am purely Norwegian. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Both my parents kind of grew up on islands, so you can't be sure though, because
Yeah.
my dad grew up in a small island that is like Denmark is in the other side of the island, I guess, on the other side of the Skagerrak.
Yeah.
So it might be he has some Danish blood in him, but
yeah, I'm a Heinz 57 on one side. Like my mom's side is all over the map. It's clearly like a very pale assortment of origins that I come from. I don't think I have a single lineage or whatever that has any sort of skin pigment. It's hilarious. So.
But should we because now we have an auction collection and we have loads of items on the auction collection itself, but should we create an auction resource?
So that's
that we put them in. I'm not really sure on how they structure this for the fundable token.
I still feel like the auction resource is kind of going a little too crazy. Because I don't think we need that, right? Like again, like you did map it out and kind of showed me a different setting. Like yours, I don't know if your auction is planning on going a level deeper than mine. But my game plan.
Yeah, go on.
I don't know, because this isn't a queue, so we're gonna name this auction items.
No. We can always just try it. We could try to just don't kind of have an own resource that is on auction. That can actually just be an array of auction items.
I would rather it be a dictionary actually, because I want to be able to select that ID and I want to be able to correlate this.
Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you really don't care about order here, right? Because dictionary is not ordered in Cadence, I think.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's just keys. So I mean, yeah, the whole game plan I had there was just to kind of do exactly what we do with an NFT collection, where they have owned NFTs. This is like our owned NFTs, except for these are our auction NFTs. I guess we should call that.
But could we put the minimum bid increment inside the auction metadata?
Well, this is the auction, like this is metadata for the actual NFTs in the auction, right? So this would be like their start price and current price. This would be like, this could go in like a settings struct for the auction itself.
Yeah, I know, but right now, the way it's structured now, it says that the minimum bid increments that we are on line 54 here, that is the same for all the auctions in this auction collection. And I'm not sure that is correct.
You want it to be. You want to be.
So if you put that into auction items metadata, the struct up here, then you can have it differently for each of the.
So let's
each of the auctions that you have, if you get me.
Let's back up a step, because, like, again, I think we have different intentions of what we want our auction collection to do, right? Like, for me, I just, again, like, I don't want this to be a crazy rabbit hole of a project. My game plan was to build a very simple auction implementation with a collection of NFTs, and then to just be able to set some general settings for that auction collection itself, right? So every item within that would have the same bid increment. Everything, like, it would all be set to the auction collection. That auction collection, you can have more than one of those, right?
Yeah, I guess, but let me see if I can argue my point here. Because right now you're saying that all the auctions in a collection start at the same time, and they end at the same time?
Yeah, that seems like a reasonably easy way for, for my brain to manage it, right? I would add all of my NFTs that I want into this auction collection. I could review them and make sure that all the start prices are what I want. The minimum bid increment would be the same for all of them. The auction length in blocks, aka the time that it takes for the auction to expire, would be the same. And then when I'm ready, I can just start the auction and record that start time, and everything's up to go, right? And then if I want different settings, I could just create a new auction collection with those settings and then put the tokens that I want with that in that collection. That just seems the way that I do it. Yours seems like way deeper.
I think this is maybe where I kind of want it, or my team kind of needs it one level deeper, I think, but I'm not sure.
So could you then, like, I guess, could you build? Yeah, I'm just trying to think of, like, the best way for you to extend that using this implementation, right? Because, like, you could probably.
It's
You could import.
We could just start out like this, and I can try to let's just start out like this, right? And then we can always just refactor it later if it makes sense. Because the way I see it now, let's say you want to create a marketplace that has auctions, right? You have an auction collection. You need a separate auction collection for each auction for different days, for instance, because they all start at the same block.
Okay.
But if each of the items in the collection have their own start block, their own auction length, their own minimum bid, their own vault capacity and collection capacity, I guess, then you can create a marketplace where you can add an auction and it's active for today, and tomorrow you can create another auction that's active for that day. And you don't need to create another auction collection for that. So
okay, I see what you mean, and it's not that hard to do.
No, but let's just start getting this to work, right? Let's start first with just getting everything to compile and work, and we can always just go deeper afterwards.
Yeah, because I think, like, really all that sounds like we need to do is just pull all this stuff into the auction items meta struct, and then just have everything work on the individual item itself. So
yeah, but I guess that's where we can talk to we can always talk to, because as soon as you want to store no, it's just capabilities, then it's fine, because as soon as you want to store a resource, you should never store a resource inside a struct, right?
You can't, it won't let you.
No. So as long as auction metadata, as long as that is only references and things like that, then you might just need it as a struct. I get that, but
so that's why I see, at least that's, like, I normally see things in a dictionary and then a struct that correlates to that ID, right? Like, that's why I don't really want to call it a pattern, but that just seems pretty.
But I mean, where do you want to store the bid vault then? Because the bid vault needs to be for each auction item.
Yeah, so that would. Oh yeah, good call. So yeah, then we do need to make it a resource itself. You're right.
I mean, what we could do here, so we could have like a new dictionary with the same ID, right, and a bit vault. So it's a collection of bit vaults. But I mean, then we have 3 dictionaries with the same keys, with 3 different resources in it, and that kind of smells, if you ask me. Then I would just rather have 1 dictionary with the ID, and that is another resource, that is the auction, and the auction then has, that is basically your auction metadata now. But we can flesh that out later. But
Yeah.
in my kind of reasoning, we need another resource that is the collection item, if you ask me.
Yeah, that makes sense. It would be like a wrapper for the actual NFT, basically. Like, it just gives it that auction functionality.
But because it would have a bit vault, the vault for holding for escrowing, right? You can call it the escrow. And you have the owner vault capability and the owner NFT collection capability and the recipient, all of that you want. But maybe the collection item can have the owner capability. I'm not sure about that. Or will that? Why should it? I'm just kind of thinking.
So the owner is just like, the owner capability is there. The NFT one is just there to send things like the tokens back if the collection gets destroyed. And
yeah, or if he cancels the auction. Let's say you want to have a setting here that says the minimum price you want, or the minimum settled price, or call it what you like. So you can say, I want at least this kind of money to fulfill this. If it doesn't go up to that, then I want to cancel, for instance.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So but let's just try to get it to work and see what we can do, basically. So should we what did we rip up now?
Just the current auction item ID, because we don't need that. They're all up for auction now. Let's just have a quick scan through.
But I mean, if you don't have current auction item ID, then the settle current auction method needs the ID as an input parameter, right?
Yeah.
So
we be settle auction then.
Yeah, it'd be settle auction, and that here we can use the underscore trick since we have only 1 argument, right? So that we don't need named arguments here because it's only 1. So then you can write kind of, instead of writing like ID like this, then you need to write. But if you do this trick, then you don't need to write this when you write the method. So that then it's not named argument, the first one, right? So the difference is that you can do like this now. But if you don't do it, if you don't have the underscore, then you need to do it like this, right? Or
why would we do that?
What?
Why would we do that?
No, it's just from the way I see other people have coded things. If they don't only have 1 argument, they kind of tend to use this underscore in place of it. But
is that okay? Yeah, no,
it's the same for me. But
I see what you mean. Yeah, so it's like when you're calling the function, you don't have to use the name, but like you still have it available when you're actually like writing code with the body.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with Objective-C, but one of the nice things that I liked about Objective-C is that the method signature is actually all of the name of the method. So it's, in this case it will be settle auction :ID. So this would be the method signature of this in Objective-C. And if you here had a name string, for instance, like this, then it would be like this. This would be the method signature of this thing. So, but we don't need that here, just for showing you for reference. In my past life as an iOS developer,
how
didn't
was
do that for long, but
yeah. There's like seems like people either love it or hate it.
I worked on a company that did like SMS services around when iPhone came out. So we jumped on the bandwagon and created some iOS applications like really early.
Nice.
It was a pain, but I mean, I like kind of the task where you dig in and just get
it's fun
dirty.
to learn new stuff, especially when it's like brand new, right? Like kind of what we're doing right now.
So,
Basically, like, we don't need this check.
What, the left? Yeah, we don't need that. No, that's correct. We don't need that. So, let's just remove it.
Yeah.
Did you remove it? No.
I haven't. No. I went down. I'm still noob. I'm still a noob at pair programming too. So, just. I'm probably gonna be, like I said, much slower.
I haven't done this, but I'm gonna introduce it to a coworker at work who uses Visual Studio Code a lot and see what he thinks about it, because this was kind of cool. I haven't done it like this before.
This is the best thing I've ever seen, to be honest. For like, we've never been able to do this before, so I think it's super cool.
But why isn't reformatting format document? Why doesn't it format this correctly here on line 124? It should be indented. Did we do something wrong?
It's fine on my end. Or no, it's not. I just don't have a formatter. I just don't think I have a formatter installed, unless your plugins are supposed to be doing it.
Yeah, it is. But anyways, we can just fix that later.
Do we have an extra bracket right here?
Yeah.
Try that.
Well, here I would just return home early, right? If this auction, this token meta doesn't have a current price, I guess. No, I would do like this. If token meta dot current price equals token meta start price. Return. Just log.
Gotcha.
No bits. Nothing to set one. But I mean, settle auction. Yeah, because more way that we can't just return. We need to send it back to the owner, right? To do send it back to owner.
Yeah. I'm not taking your scroll, am I?
No.
Okay,
fine.
Just keep scrolling.
So just need to.
So I think instead of return auction items to owner, we should just have a return auction item to owner with the ID, right?
Oh, do you have that method? Return?
No. This was it. Like I had return auction items.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
But that was all of them, right? So we just want the one.
Yeah.
So get the capability. We don't need the keys. We just need.
Let me just follow where you are now, so I can just watch you. I think sometimes it's better to just let one of the people drive and let the other one just shotgun, I guess. And if you kind of need to express something, then you can just
focus. Yeah.
Remove the following Visual Studio Code and just go and do things.
Yeah. All right. So you're here.
Yeah, I see. So basically,
cool.
Yeah.
So I'm just knocking out the loop basically. We don't need to loop. Oh, we don't need to loop over the keys. And then wish we had our code.
Why doesn't it want you to deposit that?
It's just because we don't have the code imported, so it doesn't recognize the method.
Okay, we should probably do that so we don't have, or after a while, so we don't have the.
Yeah, I can do it right now.
So we don't have all of these errors, because these errors are. But I mean, right now, your destroy method is. You need to do something here. You need to loop over them, I guess, then.
Yeah, I need to do a loop there, which is fine.
Yeah, or
we can still do just a method to do all of them too, right? Like I can just still do a loop in a method and call that return items to owner.
Yeah, but what I think is our NFT doesn't have deposit all, right? But because there are some NFT definitions that have deposit all and withdraw all, they're kind of cool here. But
what's that?
I guess I saw some NFT implementation that has not only deposit and withdraw, but they had deposit all and withdraw all.
Yeah.
So you could do. They had a looping kind of internalized into them, but
yeah. So I mean, like we could either do that as part of the Rocks NFT and do like a custom, you know, method there, or we could do that in here as just a custom kind of safety method for the return auction items, right? It's fine.
I'm not sure if it's worth it, because if we do it in Rocks, then you can basically only sell Rocks.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. We want
Sorry, I got incoming cat. All right, yeah. That's cool. I mean, like, I'm just basically roughing this back out so that we can.
You need to rename that. Can you just rename that method? So it's not items, it's item.
So you'll want self auction. One sec. Self auction.
Well, what is the
auction
collection
items?
that has it's auction items? Yeah, okay. Yeah. The completion is better now, like Bastian talked about. Turbulent. He talked about that the collection is better now. So
Yeah, I was gonna deploy those contracts too. Kind of got distracted.
so release previous bits, we can't do that correctly, right? Because we haven't made the. Let me just make that bid, the bid wall into a collection, right? Because we need that.
Well, are we doing? So are we? Sorry. Are we going to? Are we gonna make that bid vault? Like, what are we doing? Are we having the settings and bid vault live in the collection itself, or are we taking it down a level?
I think I think it's gonna be pretty messy, pretty fast if we don't take it down a level. But let's just. My kind of thing is that if we just get this to work, let's say we code it now like you only have one auction in the collection, just to see if we can get that to work first, and then we can just start to refactor, right?
Yeah.
So let's just do this. So we destroy that, This is cool. We destroy all this, okay? We deposit it back, okay? So here, release previous bid. Because let me just ask you, why did you need the capabilities to be optional? Because if you don't have an auction item, right?
Yeah. Hold on. You're up top again, or are you?
Yeah. Now I'm in the constructor or in the fields. Because you had a reasoning for the capabilities. You needed them to be optional, right?
Yeah, so I mean, like when you create an auction collection, at least for the recipient, there isn't one to begin with. Like the recipient capabilities only have a value when there is a recipient, when someone's made a bid.
Yeah, when someone's made a bid, exactly. I gotcha. So I'm not sure how deep we want to structure this and how many options we want, but it's we could just try to flesh things out and see.
Yeah, like,
okay.
I mean, we're pretty close, I think, to having something testable, right? Like,
I think so. I think we might need to can start and create some transactions first. Let me just check. You borrow that, you deposit that, you borrow the owner one, withdraw that and deposit it there, yeah. Token purchase. Token ID is wrong here. Down here is ID in the settle auction. And the place bid method, it needs the ID, right?
Yeah.
It needs the ID. ID can't be a nil. And then it's just basically ID
Just
here.
Still needs the, I think it still needs the force unwrap, but okay. Or maybe not.
I don't like the force unwraps. I think they're, but I get why you need them, but I don't like them. I think maybe it could be better to just do like this and just write up, and
Yeah,
at least
give a
until they
reason.
fix. At least until they fix that this bang, if this breaks, it doesn't say even what line it breaks on, so it's pretty hard to know
it just reverts.
where it breaks. So, but I mean, like when you chain it in here, you can't do that. That's hard. But at line 175, you could do that because then it's not hard. So, do we have any more errors now, or could we try to create an auction in a transaction and see if it works?
So we should be able to.
I think we should be able to now.
I haven't been able to get my emulator to work.
We need to fix the interface up here.
Oh yeah.
ID UN. So now it's okay. Now we, yeah. So it's okay now. Now I think if you deploy the non-fungible contract token now and the rocks and everything, then I think you don't get any compile errors anymore.
Check 134.
But I mean, the older collection ref, it says that any resource doesn't have any member. Why? Is that borrow method? Isn't it inferring the type anymore?
It's already got it. It's already, because we've already cast it in like the.
But can we do like this here, for instance? Instead of having bang here, we can have the bang down there. I think that's cleaner.
So.
I think that's cleaner, but it's okay. We need to deploy it first and see because.
Yeah.
Well, is there a comma missing here? I think we should do it like this. I like that better.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm having an issue with my terminal right now.
Okay.
For my emulator, I can't get it to actually create the accounts we need.
Oh. Okay. There are problems, it says. Okay, yeah. You can't get a terminal here?
I've got the terminal, I just can't get it to actually like start. Like it's starting,
okay.
like I'm just trying to start it from VS Code. I'm not worrying about our tooling or anything like that right now, and I'm just trying to get it to launch its 2 accounts. It's not doing it. This might be the shortest live stream in history.
Now it says I can't edit the read-only terminal. Okay, let me just see if you can.
Hold on, I'll see if I
Keep
can
me
do.
doing.
Can you see the terminal?
Nope. Let me just see. Nope. I don't see it. But it says it's in the flow emulator. Create JavaScript debug terminal. Is that what you want?
I don't know. I have 2 windows open. One's the flow emulator. Oh, this one. Okay, so hold on.
Oh, wait a second. I have a terminal on your... Because this is a terminal on my machine. In your code.
Yeah, 2 and 3 are shared, but they're like Zish terminals. They're not the... You can run whatever you want on my machine now, which is... Just be nice, okay? Just be nice. Just be nice. Don't steal all my coins, man. But
that's okay.
Just, you know, open it up in admin for you. Give you root access. go for it.
No.
Put some Norwegian metal on my modem.
I think this is more readable. But
Not a lot.
because if you see on line 206 now, this deposit method is not errored out because here we deposit the fungible token, and the fungible token is actually available because your flow, you're running the flow emulator, and the NFT token is default deployed to this address right on top on line 8. But what is the issue here now? You can't get it started.
I can't create accounts. Like it's starting and locking up. I don't know if it's because.
But can we? Is now a good time to include our tooling?
I would love to say yes. We can get it working. Here, I'm gonna kill this terminal here. We'll try. I mean, at least people can see what's causing the suffering. So.
Yeah. Okay. So.
You won't be able to see it yet, but.
Yeah, I guess you're maybe in somewhere else in the stream now, are you? No.
Yeah, you'll see it on. Yeah. You'll see it on stream. I pulled my terminal there, but.
Yeah, I see it on stream. All right.
So in a second, you'll see the error I'm getting. I don't know what the heck to do beyond that. I've tried to install everything. I've got like what I'm running is what you're seeing in.
You need a power line fund, not a nerd fund or anything to get proper.
Oh yeah, I know. This is because of VS Code, or this is because of that whole Windows subsystem thing. Like, it's actually set up on my Mac, but I don't know what the heck's going on with this. It's got some issues. Like I said, I'm just be nice. I'm doing my best here.
Yeah.
I've got this whole thing. Like, I set this computer up like a week before I started live streaming, and I have not had any time to actually like get it looking good or get my stream going. So. Okay,
so you actually have that in here already. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have this in here, but I think you need to call it account and not wallet, don't you?
No, we had wallet. If you look in the tooling repo,
it's wallet. But yeah, you don't have the flow JSON as well. Okay. Interesting. So can you show me the terminal again and see the error you get when you run this method?
Yeah. So I'm getting this RPC error. I did try updating like the gRPC and the client Go Flow SDK and all that stuff. I don't again, I'm kind of out of it with like Go and in general this week. I'm burnt out. I need a day off. But yeah, I haven't been able to get past this.
Huh.
Which sucks, cause I mean, otherwise we're able to do like the mega fast deployment, and it would speed our whole contract dev up so fast. So.
But it's on the same port, right? It's not a thing. It's not anything Linux specific that we wrote in our Go code, the Go tooling code.
I don't think so.
There's nothing there that.
Shit.
If you go into that run Go method and try to just comment out the step that actually executes something, and try to debug out some information there, just see if you can get, for instance, the flow account or
spew.
Just to see if anything. So instead of deploying the contract there, you will just try to now I can go in VS Code, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I removed spew, so but you can always just add spew back. Just spew out the spew dump flow and see what's in there, just to see if it's low. There it is. Okay.
Sweet.
So try to run that.
Yeah, one sec. Let me just do this from.
Now I probably need to go in watch on YouTube because I can't see that.
You can't. Yeah. Well, no, you can see it. You should be able to see. There's 2 shared terminals. You don't see them?
Oh, wait a second.
'Cause I can't
nope.
actually see anything.
Shared terminals. I see flow emulator read-only terminal. That's what I see.
There's no this shared. Okay. Let me just try one more time. See if I can get us a shared terminal. Otherwise.
Yeah, now I see it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I actually can invite her as well. So now I really can steal all your coins, you know?
Yeah. Oops. So I'm trying to write things backwards. This is a horribly named file. Okay.
Yeah. So okay. So this looks correct, right? Doesn't it? Well, wait a minute. What kind of open your wallet for me?
With pleasure, sir.
Oh, you have non-fungible token there, yes?
Yeah.
Ooh. Should you try writing localhost instead of that? Could that be it? If you try to ping that IP, will it actually resolve localhost? I know there are some DNS issues on some systems. That might be Mac though. That is worse than that.
Let's see. Let's see what happens.
Max should be here now. He will probably help us. Because that looks correct, right? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't. Now wait a minute. The private key is the same. Should it be the same?
I don't know. I copied that right over from examples. So
okay.
I think it should be alright. Like, let me just go double check it, but I'm pretty sure that should be exactly what we have for our working example.
I think for development purposes, it's probably just okay to
Yeah. No, that's fine.
have the same one. But I see in order for our tooling to work, you need to normalize the name series. No, the scripts are, the transactions are okay. You can have subfolders there, yeah. So.
Can we? I don't think we can. I thought about that when I was building it, but I was getting late and grumpy, so I wanted to just get it working.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is this deploy method then, which is good. I mean.
But can you try and push everything, and I can try and pull on my end just to see if it works here, just to see if there are some issues. If it's like
know,
work
like,
on my.
I will try, but like I said, I've been getting issues with permissions on this computer, and I'm like at my wit's end this week. So
yeah.
Let me just see what I got here. Ah. What am I doing?
Get dots. No, just okay. Just dot. I'll take everything. You don't need to. You don't need to add if you use AM though. Well, okay.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
No
use
biggie.
this ever, so.
You need to add if you have a new file. Git commit AM will not honor that.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not doing this. It's not
But
set up on the computer, man.
if you wait a minute, if you go up here, if you click on the in the top in the left menu bar, there's the files on top, and then you have a search functionality, and under that you have search control. So here, I think you should be able to push.
I don't see anything in here, buddy. Like I said, this is not really well set up for this right now. I don't understand what's going on with my permissions on this computer. I've been using Mac for the past like 10 years, so this is my 3rd week of being back on a PC for dev. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. I mean, we could, like, I'm all down to work on this tooling and stuff. We're just not going to be able to do that on stream like efficiently without being able to push back and forth. So this might be a good time to cut it out. I honestly, I'm a little bagged. Like, I don't have the energy to keep streaming.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I see. What could you, when you go off stream, could you push this so I could check it out
yeah,
on my end?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, like that's what I'm saying is it's kind of a bit of a pain right now for me to do like pushing and pulling and be on stream because I got to close everything down, start it back up and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I see. Gotcha.
we'll cut it. Is there anything else you wanted to go over while we're on stream? Because we kind of blasted through this and didn't really.
No, I think it's fine actually. We just need to, or if you're back, we don't have to do more, right? We can just stop and we can.
Well, I'm like if I'm being honest, like I just don't have much patience today. I'm burnt right out, so I kind of need a day off, and I really don't want to like troubleshoot my computer on top of Cadence on top of Go. So
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
that's where I'm at with it right now. So I mean, I kind of like I wasn't even gonna stream today, but you know, like when you brought it up, I was like, okay, let's do it. Like let's just go online and try to do it. But it's obvious like there's a few things I'm gonna have to figure out with this computer to make this a little bit more efficient, so that it doesn't drive me nuts online or on live streams. But we can like I'm cool with like if you give me 5 minutes, I'll wrap up and then we can just jump in, you know, the Discord chat on or offline and try to figure out the tooling issues.
Yeah, that will work.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Yeah, cool. All right, I'm gonna jump out of the Discord chat for just a few minutes, and then I'll be back in, and we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Thanks, buddy. Sorry for the short stream today. We'll have a better one next time. Promise.
No, it's okay for me.
Cool. Alright, yeah, so we're gonna cut it out there. Too many issues with the actual tooling and system on my end to actually pair program efficiently, unfortunately. So just to clarify, what's going on is anytime I try to push anything up on Git or pull anything down, I'm running into a permissions issue because I am remotely connected to the Windows subsystem for Linux, and I'm still trying to learn that. So as mentioned, I only feel like troubleshooting so many things at one time. I think this tooling thing will be wicked cool, and I also need to figure out a way around this permissions issue to make the whole pair programming thing a better experience for all involved. So we're gonna jump off for now, work on the tooling, probably come back on Thursday for another probably short stream, and then hopefully actually show you something that's working and some fancy super fast command line activity. So watch the Twitter account, and we'll hope to see you back next stream. Thanks for joining.